Everyone's shocked at what they see when Ivanka walks across tarmac today right after landing in Italy. The United States has a long history of making a big deal out of its First Lady's fashion choices. That even held true through the last administration when some of the choices were somewhat less than impeccable. For this administration, there is of course just one, fantastic, First Lady, but we did get a 2-for-1 special on ladies whose fashion we can look up to in President's family. President Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump not only started her own fashion line, but she seems to like to model it as well. Even though she did step down from her company in order to work as her dad's advisor, she hasn't stepped away from her fashion since. Ivanka Trump has had the chance to go to some pretty amazing places as an advisor to the president, and every single time she had nailed looking like the picture of class and culture. Her trip to Italy was, of course, no exception. She showed up in Italy with her family looking like she had just walked out of a fashion magazine. Of course, there's more to what makes an incredible and knowledgeable person than just what they look like, but being a knockout never hurts your chances of being listened to and getting your message heard. What might hurt your chances, and the chances of your country, is being altogether disrespectful to the traditions of a religion when you're visiting a place on vacation. I'm talking, of course, about our former First Lady, Michelle Obama, and all of her display of trashy taste for the world to see. The above beautiful image was also taken in Italy. Via BizPack Review. The Obamas were spotted touring the city of Siena, Tuscany on Monday, but it was the former First Lady who grabbed everyone's attention with her wardrobe. Michelle Obama's off-duty look has apparently gone off the shoulder as she bared plenty of skin in a white stripy top with high-waisted pants. Her husband opted for a more polished shirt and pants as the couple stepped out of the Duomo di Siena, the Siena Cathedral, the Daily Mail reported. Not one to care about rules for commoners, Obama had zero respect for the dress code of the Italian Gothic Church. From mygola.com. The Obamas were escorted by a police car in Siena Monday as they continued their tour of Tuscany. Earlier in the day, the former president had gone on a bike ride in the scenic countryside, racing his Secret Service agents to the top of a hill and riding down with them in formation, according to the Mail. The pair conspicuously arrived in the central Italian region on Friday, flying in on a private plane escorted by 6 fighter jets and a 13-car motorcade as they headed to a $15,000 a night private villa owned by Obama's former ambassador to Italy, John Phillips. So what exactly was everybody doing in Italy, you might ask? Via Newsweek. President Donald Trump landed in Italy Tuesday evening, his first visit to a European country as U.S. leader and part of his four-nation foreign trip that started in Saudi Arabia. He was greeted at Leonardo da Vinci Airport by Italian Foreign Minister Angelino Alfano before being transported to the residence of the U.S. ambassador in Rome. The first item on the president's agenda is a much-anticipated meeting with Pope Francis on Wednesday morning at the Vatican. First Lady Melania Trump and first daughter Ivanka Trump will also participate in the meeting with the pontiff, as they did when they visited the Western Wall Monday during Trump's stay in the Middle East. For Melania and Ivanka Trump, the visit to the Italian capital will continue the focus on religion, specifically the work of 2 Catholic charitable organizations, according to the Italian news agency ANSA. While the First family continues quietly doing their job, the former First family keeps on doing what they do best, vacationing and being disrespectful to those around them. There's no doubt that both Ivanka and Melania did an amazing job of representing not only the First family but the United States while overseas. In the game of Guess Who Doesn't Belong Here in pictures from this week in Italy, I'm sure it's obvious who the loser is. Yeah, not sorry to see the middle one go. Look at the horrid thing Pelosi was accidentally caught doing while Dems yelled FCK Donald Trump. Nancy Pelosi was caught having some fun while her leftist buddies chanted FCK Donald Trump during a Democrat event in California. Where else would this liberal suckery take place? Of course, it happened in California. Nancy, the House Minority Leader, was laughing along with the rest of the hilarious Democrats who thought they were making a point. The only thing Democrats did was point out their one-sided hypocrisy. If Republicans gathered and chanted FCK Obama, Then you'd hear and see the race card flying faster than a jet breaking the speed of sound. And let me tell you, at least I did, chanted FCK Obama on a daily basis because he was a horrible president. Guess what, folks? I'm not a political figure in a position of power. I'm not a role model or a person that anyone needs to look up to, or associate with, for future employment or gains. I can happily chant FCK Obama whenever I want, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that people chanted FCK Trump, not one bit at all. Those Democrat hags can chant whatever they want. No one really cares or listens to what Democrats say anymore. The problem isn't that people were chanting mean things about Trump. The problem is that these are professionals who are expected to behave like professionals. Instead, they're acting like little Antifa cronies who emerged from mom's basement to have a gathering of losers to say F words together. If a popular rapper chanted this, then sure, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense when people in business suits who are elected to run our country act like 12-year-olds in a schoolyard at recess. While it may have been a fun moment, it also made them look more desperate and irrelevant than ever. Should these folks lose their job for chanting mean things about President Trump? No way. That's something a liberal would do. A liberal would beg for them to be fired because they're offended. Should people be offended by it? No. If you are, then you're a liberal. Should Trump care? Why would he? Every president has haters. You're no one if at least a handful of liberals don't hate you. When I see people on Facebook comment things like they should be fired, then I just think that person is the most liberal loser I have ever seen. If you complained about this, then you're a snowflake who is worse than the real snowflakes. We talked trash about Obama for 8 years. If we complain about this, then we are the losers. Not them. Laugh at it and throw it back in their face. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi and her fellow Democrats have let Trump derangement syndrome strip them of any decorum and decency they had left. The California rep stood by, laughing, as the state's Democrat chairman John Burton raised two middle fingers as he encouraged the crowd at the state convention in Sacramento to chant FK Donald Trump. Democrat leaders at the convention used their time to deride President Donald Trump and beat the familiar drum of tying him to Russia, the Associated Press reported. Anyone else sick of hearing about Russia? I could not care less about Russia. Trump and Putin could be gay lovers tomorrow and I wouldn't care. I didn't vote for Trump because of anything Russia said or did. I voted for Trump because his tax plan looked better for the middle class and because America would be in a terrible place if we had any more years of horrible Democrat leadership. I voted for Trump because I was tired of the politically correct idiots ruining all the fun. I was tired of being told that a guy with a penis, who dresses like a girl, is supposed to be called a woman. Heck no. Senator Kamala Harris told the crowd that the president is putting Russia first, America second. The world, literally the world, is counting on all of you, counting on California to reject Trump's deception and destructiveness, Gavin Newsom, the California lieutenant governor, said. But it was Burton who took it to the classless extreme. All together now, he told the crowd, encouraging them to chant as he raised his two middle fingers. FK Donald Trump. Good for Burton. Let him get those frustrations out and encourage us to vote for a Republican for another 4 years. Hey, Burton and Pelosi and the rest of your liberal crybabies. FCKU right back, right back. Outrage after Michelle Obama was caught doing this in Italy today. CNN won't report this. Barack and Michelle Obama are vacationing in Siena, Tuscany this week. They arrived in Italy this Friday. The UK Daily Mail said she looked especially glamorous. The commenters at the Daily Mail strongly disagreed, saying her choice was not appropriate and it looks like a napkin. Barack and Michelle Obama were visiting the Duomo di Siena, the Siena Cathedral. Comments. Barack and Michelle Obama are vacationing in Siena, Tuscany this week. They arrived in Italy this Friday. Find out more. 84,831. The UK Daily Mail said she looked especially glamorous. The commenters at the Daily Mail strongly disagreed, saying her choice was not appropriate and it looks like a napkin. Barack and Michelle Obama were visiting the Duomo di Siena, the Siena Cathedral. Michelle broke the dress code. Women are required to cover their shoulders when entering the historic Catholic cathedral. But not Michelle Obama. She's above all that. Thank goodness for Melania Trump. Breaking, Sean Hannity hit with horrible news. He needs our support. A major liberal group is targeting advertisers for Sean Hannity's Fox News show as they look to push back against his promotion of a conspiracy theory surrounding a killed Democratic National Committee, DNC, staffer. Media watchdog group Media Matters for America on Tuesday published a list of Hannity's advertisers, a long list that includes major companies such as Allstate, Angie's List, Bayer, Capital One, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, Mercedes-Benz and Publishers Clearinghouse. While the list was published with little context and no call to action, it comes as Media Matters continues to blast Hannity for claiming, without evidence, that Seth Rich leaked DNC emails to WikiLeaks and suggesting that Democratic campaigns or groups were behind his killing. The group helped to spearhead a push to put pressure on former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly's advertisers last month after reports that he had been accused of sexual harassment repeatedly. That pressure campaign ultimately led to O'Reilly's departure from the network. The accusations about Rich's death have been part of Hannity's show and Twitter feed for days. On Twitter, he's accused Democrats of scrambling to cover up proof and promoted a number of people siding with his theory. Hannity has drawn more recent scrutiny for promoting Kim.com, a disgraced internet entrepreneur in New Zealand facing extradition to the US on a slew of financial charges. .com claims he can prove Rich's ties to WikiLeaks. Critics have bristled at Hannity's decision to double down on the theory without any hard evidence, and Rich's brother asked Fox to cancel the interview in a letter obtained by CNN. Nobody wants to solve Seth's murder more than we do. However, providing a platform to spread potentially false, damaging information will cause us additional pain, suffering and sorrow, Aaron Rich wrote. The conspiracy theory has swirled on the right for months, but a recent story by a Washington Fox affiliate fanned the flames, claiming an investigator hired by the family found evidence connecting Rich to WikiLeaks. The story was immediately debunked. The investigator recanted his comments. Various media outlets have raised questions about its assertions and Fox News' national website retracted its coverage of the story, saying it was not initially subjected to the high degree of editorial scrutiny we require.